What's going on, y'all? My name is Joltage, and today I'm bringing you yet another LC game from SPL Week 3, this time between Blarajan of the Sharks and ZoroDark of the Bigs. Both of these competitors are coming into this game at 0-2, which means one of these guys is going to walk away with the victory this time. Looking at the teams, we've got an Elekid on Blarajan's team. That's not a mon you're going to see too often, and it's not even on sticky webs, which is usually where you will see it when you do. Other than that, everything looks pretty standard. Some less used mons in like Tortuga and somewhat Cottony, but probably I could see a Memento Cottony so that Tortuga can smash on some shit. And it's probably download Pori, as that is probably its best set currently. Looking over at ZoroDark's team, it's really standard fare with some Fudig to trap some stuff, and just general Volt turn, it looks like, with a probably likely Life Orb Ghastly to just break some walls. We've got lead Fu coming over from ZoroDark with lead Drober on Blar's team. Drober decides to set up rocks, and that pretty much confirms that this is probably going to be a smashing Tortuga. Whether it be Sturdy Juice or Bulky Smash is still up for question. It could be either or, but Blar is going to win the assumed speed tie on turn 1 and get up his rocks, as his Drober is going to get knocked off. Blar is probably going to want to go out to his Cottony, though Mianfu can pretty easily U-turn, as Blar decides instead to go out to his Vullaby. On ZoroDark's U-turn, ZoroDark can U-turn out. He has a few options for dealing with this Vullaby. He can go to his Spritzy, though Spritzy's going to eat a knockoff. He also could have went to his Chincho, which normally outspeeds Vullaby, or his Archon to get up his own rocks, as I assume Archon is carrying the rocks on ZoroDark's team, though Diglett is a possibility. But in comes Spritzy. Spritzy can scare out Vullaby, though it can also eat a knockoff from this thing. I'm not sure if Blar would want his Vullaby to eat a Moonblast at this point, though, as it's a pretty decent check to Ghastly. Though he has other stuff that can revenge Ghastly at the very least. Let's see. Blar decides to go for the U-turn to get some chip damage on this Spritzy. It does 4%, which is like 1 HP to this Spritzy. And he's going to go out to his Porygon. It's Trace Porygon. And Spritzy's going to crit it with this Moonblast. It's going to force Pori to recover, and Spritzy can kind of freely switch out into whatever it wants to, TBH. As Zoro's going to go for the Fu switch in that he had pretty much for free. We've got the new recover animation making an appearance. It's the first time I've seen it. It looks pretty cool. IMO. So Blar is probably not going to want to stay in here. He has a Cottony or a Vullaby he can go out to. Either of those would be fine. I kind of expect a knockoff to come from Zoro here, as it's a pretty safe play to make. If it is a bulky Fu, which I assume it is, the Psychic will not take it out from here. So a knockoff's a pretty safe move to go for, in my opinion. As Blar goes Cottony, as ZoroDark does fire off the knockoff. Now Cottony's in, and has certain things it can do. It's probably going to fire off a knockoff of its own. I could see that happening. Yeah, I could see a knockoff of its own coming here, as Fu's probably going to want to U-turn out. I expect this Cottony to be knockoff, stab move, encore, and Memento for the Tortuga, but it does fire off a knockoff. I would expect Blar would want to keep this Cottony around for later use, though this Archon is definitely threatening. It's not in defeatist range and has a full power acrobatics to fire off as he decides to go, as Blar decides to bring in his Porygon on the rocks. The rocks are always nice, obviously, so decent play on Zoro's part. Archon won't kill this Porygon in one hit. If it has knockoff, I think knockoff would be a good play here. Though Archon's probably going to go down, but having Porygon without an Eviolite is just really nice. Removing Eviolites in LC in general is really nice, as it severely reduces a lot of things' longevity. As he just fires off an Acro that doesn't do much at all. And Porygon hits him up with the Psychic. Porygon probably is going to want to recover here, as Archon U-turns out. There's no hazard removal on ZoroDark's side, so I assume he's saving Archon for the sack, and that's obviously what he's doing here. But he gets his Nienfu in for free here, as Blara recovers all the way back up to full. Again, the knockoff is fairly safe from Zoro in my opinion here, and again I think Blara has a pretty decent Cottony switch in. I don't expect this Nienfu to be like Acrofu or anything, and even if it is, Acrofu, it's not knocked off yet, though Cottony is knocked off, so I mean it could be doing a decent amount, but I don't think Cottony's low enough for it to kill at this point. But we'll see what Blar wants to do here. Anyway, looking at Zoro's team, I went over some of it, but not all of it. So I'm thinking that the Chinchou could probably be scarfed, as he does have an Archon that also helps check Fletch. So I could see a scarf Chinchou there just to give this team a bit more speed to like outspeed any other scarfers maybe. Though he does have Diglett and Ghastly, two fast mons. Diglett tied for the fastest mon in LC, with Elekid and Voltorb hitting 20 speed. But anyway, he does fire off another knockoff as Blar decides to go back into his Cottony. I think ZoroDark can sack his Archon here on the assumed knockoff from Blar, and then get his Ghastly in pretty much for free. No, for free. There's no pretty much about that. But I think that would be a good play from ZoroDark's part, because Ghastly threatens pretty much everything on Blara's team, especially Life Orb sets. Vullaby's not going to want to take a Life Orb Sludge Bomb coming in on rocks, as he does go for the Archon sack and does bring in Ghastly, as I said. Blara, he has no reason to not fire off a Sludge Bomb here. ZoroDark does, and obviously Blar doesn't want to stay in. He still needs this Cottony around to hopefully knock off the Fu and the Spritzy to go for the Tortuga sweep. Tortuga's attacking moves are probably they are probably Waterfall, Stone Edge, and either Aqua Jet or Zen Headbutt. Earthquake is also a possibility, though I think it is less common, but is good for stuff like Chinchou and Krogunk, for example. Though Zen Headbutt does hit Krogunk, and a +2 Stone Edge will hurt Chinchou. But yeah, Blara really doesn't have a great switch into this, outside of, like, he has his Porygon and his Vullaby. That's pretty much it. He could also sack his Drober here, but I don't know if he'd want to do that here. Blara's taking his time though. He's down to 90 seconds on the clock. But yeah, Ghastly is a super threatening Mon to a lot of teams, but it's kind of hard to fit on teams unless you, I find at least, I don't know, maybe it's just my building style, but yeah, Blara's now down to 60 seconds, and yeah, we'll see what he wants to do here. I think he's probably just calcing stuff, whether his Porygon can take two Life Orb Sludge Bombs or what. He decides instead to go Tortuga, who just does not take that Sludge Bomb super well, as it does end up being Berry Juice Tortuga, rather than sturdy smashing Tortuga. But so it's at full and will be living any one hit here. I don't think Aqua Jet will kill this Ghastly from here. It might. He also he can't really smash because he's not busting through the Spritzy with this Tortuga, and I don't think he's busting through the Mienfoo with this Tortuga either. Though if it is Zen, Mienfoo is going down. But yeah. So we'll see what Blara wants to do here. He could go for the smash here, as he is going to go for the smash here. Sturdy saved him from any one hit there, and we will see how this goes. If it is Zen Headbutt over, say, Aqua Jet, then Diglett can come in and click Sucker Punch. Yeah, but if it's like Aqua Jet, if it's like just dual stab with Aqua Jet, as it is Aqua Jet, then I think Foo or Spritzy will live. I doubt that crit mattered. Blara just said sorry about the crit, but I doubt that mattered. I believe Blara went for the Sucker Punch, the Aqua Jet there to avoid the potential Sucker Punch, from the Ghastly. That's not super common, though it has been seen before. Anyway, in comes ZoroDark's Mienfoo, and Mienfoo's going to take any one hit. It has the potential to get Waterfall flinched here, but it is also not going to take it amazingly well. But yeah, goes for the Waterfall and doesn't get the flinch, as Mienfoo is able to take out this Tortuga. Now Blara's in a kind of tough position here. I'm really surprised that Blara went for the Tortuga smash so early in the game, because I felt like that was going to be his win con here. Once he got Mienfoo knocked off, if he could get Mienfoo knocked off and Spritzy knocked off, though like Tortuga would have had a good shot at sweeping, though it was looking difficult for him to get those two things knocked off. Blara's down to 30 seconds as he decides to go into his Cottonee here. Standard Cottonee does not outspeed standard fast Mienfoo, which I assume this probably is. It's probably just EDO fast pivot Foo, but ZoroDark's just going to switch out, not wanting to risk that, into his Chinchou. Chinchou goes to 50% to where its Berry Juice would pop if it was Berry Juice. So like I said before, I'm going to assume this is probably a Scarf Chinchou, and this Chinchou is probably going to fire off an Ice Beam. Blar can really pretty nicely go to Porygon here, as even if it doesn't fire off an Ice Beam, it might get Scald Burned, I guess, but it will heal itself, but it will absorb the trace the Volt Absorb from this Chinchou. But Lara doesn't want to stay in here, I don't think, as Cottoney's still very useful, as he does go Porygon, traces the Volt Absorb as Chinchou does fire off the Ice Beam, and now Porygon has a pretty free Psychic, I think, or he could double out if he was feeling real into... I don't think the double would be the good play, but in comes Spritzy, and Spritzy takes nothing from that Psychic, and we've got Toxic Porygon. Toxic is not a move you will see very often at all in LC, as the low HP numbers make it so that Toxic isn't doing that much damage each turn. However, if it is CM Spritz, CM Spritz does not get to run Aromatherapy, so this Toxic prevents that from winning the game. They just fire off a... It also prevents it from being able to just stall out this Porygon if it is CM Spritz. But so Blar's gonna have to recover here on Zoro's switch into Mienfoo. Unfortunately, Blar wasn't in a position to fire off a Psychic there, but in comes Mienfoo, and at this point I think Mienfoo can nah, Drain won't. He can probably fire off a Drain Punch here. As Blar again goes Cottonee on the U-turn. U-turn was also a fair play, and here, yeah, Cottonee is really low, and it likely lacks a way to recover up. But in comes Diglett, and Diglett is able to Earthquake and take out the Cottonee. Porygon's in to counter trap the Diglett, but it's not looking super great for Blara. If Blara can keep, I think Blara's two most important mons are Elekid and actually no, Blara just needs all of his stuff here, but Diglett's gonna sub on Porygon's Recover and just stave off the it being killed. But and it's probably just gonna fire off an Earthquake here unless it really wants to waste some HP. But I expect an Ice Beam to come from this Porygon. Typically, Trace Porygon runs Recover, T-Wave, Ice Beam, and Psychic, though there is room for variation in the move slots, and I feel like if it was T-Wave we would have probably seen that by now. But Earthquake's gonna do slightly less than half to this Porygon, though a high roll this turn will take it out. The high roll is unlikely to happen, though I think it's only a 1 in 16 chance to do the 52% that it needs, and it can drop down to as low as 36%. So Blara can technically fairly safely recover up on this Diglett. And Diglett can go for another substitute, I guess, though I don't think that is a winning battle for it. But doesn't get the high roll there, as Porygon is able to recover up on the Earthquake and gain a net of 1 HP. Now it won't die to this Earthquake barring a crit, as recovers up again and gains another 1 HP. But Yeah, so Digltt's going to be slowly wearing itself down, though it is keeping this Porygon really low. Firing off these repeated earthquakes, and a crit will take out the Porygon, but doesn't get the crit, and Porygon is slowly gaining an HP per turn. It's going to be a slow process to Life Orb stall out this Diglett, but and a crit will take it. Crit still will take out the Porygon from here, but not. He's still avoiding it, and now a low roll crit won't take out the Porygon, but anything else will. Any other crit will, but it's just going to be more recover stalling here. I really hope I'm being accurate with my rolls that I'm calling out here, but yeah. Okay, yeah, looks like it's just going to be more recover stalling, as Porygon's only is down to 7 recovers though, so, and Diglett still has 9 earthquakes, but only 6 more hits to fire off, as he goes for the sucker punch there, not wanting to waste more earthquake PP. He only has 6 more hits to fire off though, so but he's just trying to waste more recover PP from the Porygon, which is fair, I suppose. Yeah, someone just posted the rolls in the Smog Tours chat, and I was right about the 1 in 16 chance of the high roll and the low roll there. But yeah. So I don't think Blara's is going to want to waste too many more of these recovers trying to stall out this Diglett here, though eating an earthquake will put it down to half, and he does need this Porygon to win. But yeah, I expect another. I expect ZoroDark to just earthquake here. Yeah. As he does fire off the earthquake, and Blara is gonna speed up this Life Orb stalling by trying to toxic stall this Porygon, though now he is in danger of the 1 in 16 roll again, as well as the crits, but he is able to stave it off that turn and gain another HP, so he ends up being 1 HP higher than he would have otherwise been. So yeah. But in comes Fu, and Fu can really freely fire off a Drain Punch here. IMO. I wouldn't be surprised if Blara sacked his Drober here, as Porygon does the job of deterring a, as it's, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if Blara sacked his Drober here. That's probably what I would go for here. Drober's not really doing much other than it, though it could potentially spin away rocks, but I don't think he would want to, risk anything else. Allocate still outspeeds everything on ZoroDark's team, save the Chinchou obviously, but actually threatens Mienfoo with the Life Orb Psychic. So we shall see, as he does decide to go into his Drober here to eat the Drain Punch. Now if he wins the assumed speed tie, it is very possible to not be a speed tie here. The damage on this Mienfoo would be really nice for Blar, as he does just decide to spin away the rock. So he either won 2 speed ties, or that's a slow foo. I don't know which one it is, to be honest. But in comes Vullaby. Vullaby should probably fire off knockoff here. I think knockoff would be the best play on Blara's part, and it's still very much a winnable game for either side. ZoroDark will likely switch out. He can U-turn out pretty easily, I think. Though nothing wants to eat a knockoff on his team. I don't know if he'd be predicting a knockoff though. But if I'm Blar, I'm going for the knockoff, and if I'm ZoroDark, I'm probably predicting him to go for the knockoff and going for the knockoff myself. Wait, did Vullaby eat a knockoff already? I don't quite remember. Vullaby did not eat a knockoff before. Yeah, so ZoroDark does decide to U-turn out, gets a crit, not doing that much anyway, as Blar does go for the knockoff, as I said he should. Blar can go out into Porygon here. I think that would be the play he's going to go for. Yeah, I think Blara should go out to Porygon with the potential U-turn. I think he has U-turn. Yeah, he does have U-turn. We saw it earlier this game, but I would U-turn. If I were Blara, I'd probably U-turn out into my Porygon to try and recover up on this, as he does U-turn on the Spritzy. Spritzy being toxic, and this is pretty much. I'm gonna say this is definitely Calm Mind Spritzy, so it won't be able to remove this toxic. But oh, special attack fall is annoying for Blara there as he goes into his Elekid. I'm surprised he let his Elekid take that, though Elekid does not does not invite Fu in, as he probably is going to want to keep Elekid around just for assurance on Fu. Good thing here is that, okay, ZoroDark goes Fu here. It's not fake out Fu, so Elekid's going to be able to fire off a decently strong Psychic. If he had not gotten the special attack drop, it would have been a stronger Psychic, but you know, unfortunate here. It's going to be a close end game, I think, unless I'm missing something. I don't know how much the Psychic's going to do, but Manfu's going to take the Psychic and take out this Elekid, and then we've got a Scarf Chincho who can't go for the who can't go for its. Okay, yeah. So Blara pretty much just has to go for the Psychic here, and then next turn go out into Vullaby and just click. You can click. Oh, as he instead goes for the Volt Switch, wanting to get his special attack back up, as ZoroDark goes for the knockoff, knocking off the Eviolite of the Vullaby, though I think Vullaby still lives a Drain Punch from no attack Fu. This was Reckless High Jump Kick Fu, that'd be a different story, but yeah, so Blara can fire off a Brave Bird here. I think. Yeah, I think, alright, I think if Blar fires off a Brave Bird here, yeah, because Cho can't click the, yeah, Blar fires off a Brave Bird here, and if Cho comes in, he goes out to his Porygon and just fires off a Psychic. As he goes for the knockoff and takes out the Chinchou. That also works. And now it's Mienfoo versus the world. And Mienfoo's at a good amount of HP. I think it can probably take out this Vullaby from here with the Drain Punch. I think Blar's way of winning is sacking Porygon here, then going Elekid and Volting so that you minimize the net recovery that Drain Punch is going to give you. Yeah, because Porygon will go take it back to full, but then you Volt on out, and then it Drain Punches on your Vullaby, takes it out, and then you click Psychic next turn and hope. Alright, and that's what it looks like he's gonna go for here, as Drain Punch is gonna not even take out this Porygon. Wow, okay. But either way, the series of plays I described still applies. Blar is gonna Volt out with Elekid and then hope Psychic kills next turn. That was definitely the only chance Blar has, as Volt Switch does a decent amount. It is Foo's at 77, so Volt Switch did 42, and that is 140 base power. Not Psychic is. Oh, Psychic is able to take it out, and this is a stupidly close game. And Blar just pulls out the win on the last turn as both Mons go down. Really close game here. As Blar picks up his first win of the season, and ZoroDark drops down to 0-3. Really close game there, and well played to both competitors. But I've been talking for a long time, so if you guys enjoyed, feel free to leave a like and comment with any potential feedback you have, and subscribe for more competitive LC content, including every single LC game this SPL. But I'll see you next time. Bye.